Hello my cozy viewers, you're welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make beef stew, so stick around and get to know at what point I add the Irish. First of all, I'm going to be cutting my beef into small pieces, wash it, and then I'll be putting it on low heat. So I'm going to be letting it produce its own steam and boil in that very steam up to some point, as I'll be showing you. So I'm not adding any water, please mark that. I'm only letting it produce its steam and boil in its own steam. So about 5 minutes later, it's going to start producing steam and begin the boiling process. At that point, I'm going to add salt. After adding my salt, I'm going to be covering it and giving it at least 40 minutes. So if you have enough time, you could even give it an hour, because we are boiling this on medium heat. While our beef is boiling, let me show you what I'm going to be adding to my beef. I have some Irish, some spring onions, some green pepper, 4 small tomatoes, 1 carrot, garlic, but I'm going to be using just 2 cloves, ginger, and an onion. This is all I'm using for my beef today, and of course some little spices. I'm going to be prepping my ingredients as my beef continues to get ready. So by now it's about 20 minutes into boiling, so we still have about 20 or 40 minutes actually if you want to use an hour. If you have enough time, please boil it for like an hour in its own steam. But you know what, sometimes you might boil it and you find that at 40 minutes water is all drained. What will you do? And you want to boil it probably an hour, just add in some water for the extra 20 minutes. But if you feel like at 40 minutes you're good to go, maybe you don't have enough time, go ahead and continue with the cooking. So we shall wait at 40 minutes. We shall see if we still have some water in the meat or not. If we still have some water and we need to continue with cooking at 40 minutes, we will remove the water and use it at a later stage. So let's continue chopping up our ingredients and we'll see what happens next. By the way, the seeds in the green peppers are not poisonous. I know some people eat them, so if you are a fan of those seeds, feel free not to remove them. While cooking my beef today, guys, I'm going to be putting a little twist to the norm. So keep it here, don't go anywhere, otherwise you're going to miss it. The ginger and garlic, as usual, I grate them together because I put them at the same time. And the carrot and green pepper, I also usually put them in the same bowl because I add them at the same time. Now, sometimes I add them at the same time with the spring onions, but today I just chose to add the spring onion much later, as you're going to be seeing. And so this is to tell you that when you are cooking, be as flexible as possible. Am I the only one who loves spring onions so much? Oh my goodness. So next is my Irish. I'm going to be peeling it and cutting it into small pieces, but of course washing it first. My Irish is clean. I've washed it, so I'm going to be cutting it into small pieces like I told you. Meanwhile, as we cut this Irish into small pieces, guys, why have you not yet subscribed, for example? Please subscribe. Click the subscribe button. When people hear the word subscribe, normally they think they have to pay probably $5 every month or every year or whatever. This one is free of charge, I promise you. So click that subscribe button. If they ask you for your account details, then come and sue me, right? So please click that subscribe button so that whenever I post, you do not miss out on the new videos. This is what I have finally. 40 minutes later, this is what I have. You realize that I do not have any more water left. It's just the oil of the beef. So when I look at this oil, I feel like it will be enough for me. I do not need to add any oil in my beef. Should your beef have little oil, You can choose to add some oil. If you feel like this is not enough for you, still you can add like a tablespoon of oil. There is no problem. But also, if you are a kind who does not want to add oil in your beef ever, then you don't have to. At this point, just follow through the process, right? So I'm going to be adding my ginger and garlic first, and then after that I'm going to show you what happens next. Now that's where I'm going to be making a twist. After adding the ginger and garlic, I'm going to be covering for just about 2 minutes, and then I am going to add tomatoes. I know most of you are waiting for onion, but then I decided to add tomatoes first. Why? Someone was asking, must we always add onions first? Must onions get into the pan first? And I told them, not at all. So today, if you are there and you've been asking yourself the same question because your grandmother did that, your mother did that, today I want to show you that it is not a must for you to add onions first. And I'm going to show you that at the end of it all, you are not going to trace my onions anywhere, just like if I had added them first, right? So watch till the end and prove me right. So I'm going to be covering this for about 10 to 15 minutes depending on how soft or ripe my tomatoes are. About 10 minutes later, this is what I have. My tomatoes are soft, so I'm going to be mashing them up and creating some soup. So after mashing up my tomatoes, this is when I'm going to be adding my onions. I'm going to mix them up and I'll cover this for about 15 minutes. Someone might be wondering, why do we keep covering? Do this cover, do this cover. So when we cover, we trap the steam inside and we keep the meat tender. So this is what I have 15 minutes later, and I can assure you that right now I can eat my beef. But I want to make stew, so I'm going to continue with the process. By the way, you don't need to have all these vegetables that I'm going to be adding for you to have your beef stew. When you have tomatoes, you have some onions, it's enough for you to have your stew. So you don't have to have carrots and green pepper to have a good stew. At this point, I've chosen to add just carrot and green pepper. I would have added spring onion as well if I wanted, but I want to show you that you don't have to cram a particular way of doing things. So I'm going to be adding spring onions much later. So at this point, I'm adding some salt again because I added to the beef, but I did not add to my ingredients. So I'm adding some spices as well. I'm using beef masala, turmeric, and curry powder. Just a teaspoon of each is enough. I want to add some Royco as well, but I'm not going to be adding it with the other spices. I am going to be adding it in towards the end, as you're going to see. So whenever I add something, I cover a bit and then I add something else. So now I'm adding spring onions. I'll add a bit of water to allow the flavors penetrate into the meat. The water meant for soup will be added in much later. So I'm going to be covering this for about 20 minutes. Ooh, it's beginning to look a lot like beef stew. Look at that, guys. So I'm going to be adding my Irish at this point, but I can choose to add my water first and then Irish, or I can choose to add Irish and I add the water. After all, I'm putting them at the same time. By the way, at this point, my beef is ready. I can even eat it if I want, but I want to add Irish, and remember it is stew, so I'm supposed to add some soup to this. So guys, at this point, you can even see some bones are bare right now. That shows you that my beef is ready. I am going to add my Irish. Irish takes a short time to get ready. 20 minutes are enough for Irish to get ready. So I'm going to be giving this about 45 minutes. After adding my water and my Irish, I'll be giving it at least 45 minutes and I'll serve it. You might wonder why I did not remove the bare bones. It's because bones create something rich. in the stew. So guys, this is about 30 minutes later and I still have 15 minutes to boil this stew. So I'm going to cover it again. You can just keep checking every after maybe 15-20. Just keep checking and see how far your stew has gone, and it can tell you what step to take next. Remember I told you that I'm going to be adding some Royco, so I normally add it in the very last minutes, and so today I'm going to be adding it in the last 3 minutes of my cooking, and that is because if you add it so early, it can easily lose its flavor. Please test your salt if you're not sure of the salt you've put, so that you can add some little more in case it is less than what you want at this point. If you must add your Royco early, it must be at most 15 minutes to the end of cooking. This is just about a teaspoon of Royco and I'm mixing it in water to avoid lumps. So I'll let this cook for 3 more minutes and I'll be good to go. So this is our beef stew, guys. It is ready. So my Irish is very soft, my beef is tender, and my soup is thick. So I can remove the bones now. So you can stick around and see what I'm going to be serving with my beef. Oh my goodness, look at that. Ooh! This is super savory. Oh my goodness. So my cozy viewers, thank you so much for watching up to this point. Please do not forget to subscribe. Do not forget to like and to comment. So I'm going to be having my beef with super rice and some dodo or amaranth leaves. Tell me in the comment section, what do you love having your beef with? Could it be posho, also known as ugali? Tell me. Otherwise, I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!